I am Manuel Davila, a lifelong Texas resident and Two-Spirit Guatemaltecan tradition keeper and artist. As a horticulturist and herbalist by trade, I use my formal education in pharmacology and my love of art to share my plant knowledge to educate the community on the fauna and medicinal flora of the area. I manage a Native American arts agency, American Indians in Texas at the Spanish Colonial Missions, which focuses on preservation of the cultures of the Davila Guatemaltecan Nation and Aboriginal peoples of the place we now refer to as South Texas. My work has a strong focus on raising awareness for the legacy behind South Texas's indigenous arts and foods and maintaining a decolonial approach to the histories of Yanaguana, San Antonio. Created by Tejana artist Suzy Gonzáles for the San Antonio Museum of Art's Community Mural Program, this mural is comprised of 32 individually jigsawed and hand-painted panels. It highlights people within the San Antonio community who are artists, activists, writers, musicians, healers, cultural workers, and stewards of the land. They are seen thriving in the environment amongst native plants and birds. Those represented in the mural came together for a community day to paint the water elements. Their portraits surround the San Antonio River, originally referred to as Yanaguana by the Guatemaltecans, the first people of this land. The Payaya, a Guatemaltecan tribe, was one of the original local indigenous peoples at the 1718 establishment of Mission San Antonio de Valero. Yanaguana was what the Payaya Indians called their village and how they referred to the San Antonio River. According to oral traditions, before there was anyone on this land, a hungry ahinga bird flew above. Seeking sustenance, the ahinga dove down a blue hole where a blue panther lived at the bottom. The panther gave a fish to the ahinga, which then flew out of the blue hole with its wings spread wide. Droplets of water falling off the wings pierced the ground, creating springs in the land. These springs then sparked life in the region. This story is of our home, Yanaguana. For the mural project, artist Suzy Gonzáles wanted to include as many themes as possible for community feedback. Women in the arts, LGBTQ+, community and landscapes in our region, kindness, hope, unity, local musicians, Native Mexican and African art, family, growth, peace, happiness, and love. The mural includes people that live in and progress our community and that represent various communities themselves, such as musician Azul Barrientos, photographer Jesse Gonzalez, artist Mesquite Papi Manuel Davila, poet laureate Andrea Vocab Anderson. All of the figures are gathered around the Yanaguana River and are surrounded by native plants and birds. At the center is a Mesoamerican codex image of the duality of the moon and sun. That's probably my favorite thing about this mural, is that even though it's a very contemporary piece, talking about the modern times of what we see here today, there are still elements of it that are very ancient into it. You have the elements of the water, the birds inside of it, the turtles, the fish. These are all animals and creatures that evolved with us, or if not, saw us evolve. They've been here a lot longer than we have, and so they know the land a lot better than we do. They are part of the land. They saw us come from the water and come to land. And it's not just one or the other. In order for us to have a good, healthy relationship with the land, we have to be able to learn to live in unison with all its creatures, which is, I think, something that this mural really beautifully did. I do have to say that in seeing myself depicted in the mural, surrounded by so many of my peers and colleagues, is a bit surreal. I, for one, didn't think of myself as anyone special enough to be depicted in something so permanent, and really just brings validation to that the work that I'm doing in preserving my culture and in trying to be a good steward to the land and preserving my community's, histories and legacy is being seen by a bigger audience, and that I'm not something separate from the community. I am one part of this living, breathing community. After people see this piece, I really hope that they seek out more indigenous community here in San Antonio. I get a little disheartened whenever people tell me that they did not know, that they just didn't think that it existed or that we were extinct, which is like a narrative that I hear very often. Plants and animals go extinct, humans evolve. We are still here today contributing to San Antonio. We are San Antonio's original founding families. We are San Antonio's first Catholics. And that is a narrative and a story that's often overlooked in our history books. And if we really want to tell the story of San Antonio and of Texas and even of the United States, we really have to start with its indigenous people first, because they are caretakers. This land was originally theirs. Nobody knows this land the way they do. This mural, stands here as a tool now for all residents of San Antonio and beyond, both the now and for the future, showing them that we have and have had an indigenous community here that lives and thrives, that there are still really good people in the world trying to do good work, trying to just help their communities, and that you yourself do not have to be an indigenous person to care about indigenous well-being. You can be a member of your own culture and community and still want to support those of another community. It's not just one or the other.